Hi everyone. I wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit because this has really been on my mind a lot recently, is when you see bad people getting good things, or to put it more gracefully, people screwing other people over and yet still getting good things in life. Like, you see it, bothers you, whether it's somebody you know who's maybe just like a really bitchy person and they're that way towards everyone, but they always can afford nice cars, going out to dinner, they get recognized for the smallest of things, and it gets blown out of proportion, like they're doing amazing things. Or if it's possibly a spiritual leader that you've known for a while, or maybe just now getting to know, and getting to know really, really well, and you're seeing that they're not who they portray themselves as, that maybe you've seen a couple of things that they've done, and you think, oh, maybe they just made a mistake, they didn't really mean it, but then you start to realize that it happens a lot more often than you were initially aware of. That many people, now that you're getting to know them, also are testifying that these same things have happened to them, that they've been seeing the same pattern for a long time. And then you see pictures of them, of this person, or you see videos of this person, and they portray such a happy and happy attitude and full of blessings and love and light and all of these things, and you see right through it, and you just know it's bullshit. And I wanted to talk about dealing with that emotion. How sometimes when you see these things and you think, oh, if only they could just get what's coming to them, if only if I could just be there when it happens to them, and I just wish, or maybe you just say, oh, I just wish they would stop doing it. I don't want so many people to get hurt. I wish they would stop lying or covering up the truth. I wish they would stop. Maybe they're embezzling. I wish they would stop embezzling. I know that they're doing it, and I've tried to come out and speak up against it, and no one's believing me. Or maybe there's, heaven forbid, like sexual abuse or emotional abuse or physical abuse going on, and they're a spiritual leader, and you just can't believe that no one is seeing what you're seeing. Now, I've been dealing with this my whole life. Me and my family, Sisterlisa here with Intuitive Home Solutions is my mother. Our family was involved in a very strict church system for a very long time, my whole growing up years, and my siblings as well. And it was really difficult coming out of that, seeing that many people who had previously left that church system, we saw them later in life, or we connected with them later in life, and we realized that the rumors that we heard were true, that they really were taken advantage of, or they really were stolen from, or lied to, or any number of horrible things that could have possibly happened to them, and we were realizing that they were true, and it was just heart-wrenching. And so we thought, we'll never allow ourselves to be sucked into a cult or a bad church system or horrible relationships ever again, because now we've seen the light, and we know it's true, it's a real true thing, and we know what to look for, and we know the warning signs. And so we did a lot of researching into other faiths, researching into other spiritual practices and whatnot, and we came across a spiritual leader who was in the metaphysical group, which we were really integrating ourselves into, and we thought, wow, this person is so full of love and light, and so gracious and giving, and so knowledgeable, and we kind of fell head first into that and followed this person to the letter. And then later on, we realized that several people we had known through this spiritual leader were just kind of dropping off the face of the earth. Like, we didn't hear from them again. We didn't see them at the group meetings. We didn't see them at full moon celebrations or what have you. And we found them through social media, or we found them through friend groups, reconnecting with them, and realized that they were ostracized by the spiritual leader. They were treated very poorly, and they were taken advantage of as far as their time was concerned, asking them to do things for free, asking them to work on the weekends, asking them to run errands for them when they didn't even work for the spiritual leader, as if they were just lackeys, like straight up out of Mean Girls. And we thought, that really sucks that you experienced that, but I'm sure she didn't mean it. I mean, I'm sure they didn't mean it. obviously weren't meaning to treat you this way. You must be one in a million who thinks that this person is behaving this way on purpose. And then we were connected with another person, and they had the same story, and another person had the same story, and we found tons of internet articles of people having the same exact stories of being treated so poorly by the spiritual leader. So I had never seen this in person. I had never witnessed this in person. Neither had my mother, neither had my sisters. Anytime we saw the spiritual leader, they always acted really graciously towards us. And so what I decided to do was just to take a step back from the situation, not purchase products from them, not attend meetings anymore, just to observe it from the outside with fresh eyes. And what I realized was it was 100% true. I mean, just taking yourself back from the situation and looking at it with fresh eyes made me realize that I had been sucked into it again. I had gone into spiritual relationship with this spiritual leader, and I just thought, this could never happen to me again. There's no way that I could be, fall victim to this sort of situation again, and I had. And so had my mother and my siblings, and so we all decided to take a step back from the situation, take a break for a little while, see if everything would blow over, if all the drama would blow over. And what we realized is the drama just kept building and building, and more people kept coming forward saying that bad things were happening, time stolen away, emotionally abused, and all of these things. And I was just thinking to myself before I started this video how heartbreaking it was, again, to go through this situation. But I'm a little bit stronger from it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I've met several more people in the metaphysical community who were burned, and I've even made friends through this situation. And I'm just taking my own path again. I'm not following anybody's meetings. I'm doing my own research with different goddesses here with Intuitive Home Solutions. Not a plug, I'm just expressing myself that this is what I've chosen to do. I've chosen to research myself from several different websites how to do crystal grids differently, and I've even branched out a little bit more into the Catholic faith a little bit. My boyfriend and his family is Catholic, were raised Catholic, and I don't really connect very strongly with a lot of the saints. I don't really connect very strongly with the Jesus Christ figure, but I do connect a little bit with St. Jude, and even with Mary and Mary Magdalene. I always connect more with the female deities, female spirits or saints, and this has just been a learning experience, and I've learned to find my voice a little bit better. I have really been drawn to a lot of light blue crystals recently, and this one right here, I just got it from Home Goods, I think, but I keep it by my front door to, remind myself and to absorb the energy from it, to be able to use my throat chakra a little bit more and speak out a little bit more when I feel wronged, or I feel like a situation is preventing me from moving forward in the relationship and being able to voice my own opinions. And I wanted to share this situation with you guys, because I know now that I'm not the only one to have witnessed this, to have experienced this. And I'm just wondering if anybody else there out in internet land has experienced this in more than one religion, being spiritually taken advantage of, emotionally taken advantage of, or financially taken advantage of, guilted into giving more money at spiritual groups to fund whatever the spiritual leader says it's funding, or shelling out way more money for a crystal than what it's really worth, and then later finding out that the quality is really shit, and trying to speak up about it, trying to access customer service for the specific spiritual company and getting no feedback back, feeling like you've just lost X amount of money because you didn't do your proper research, you didn't ask more questions. And just as with any investment, crystals are always an investment. You wouldn't just buy your first car, drive it off the lot, and if it happens to be a lemon, say, oh well. You would do research, you would take a test drive, you would sign contracts, you would speak with representatives, and same things if you're buying a house, if you're buying a television set, if you're buying any appliances, you always do your research first, right, before investing in it. And why don't we do this with crystals? Why do we just say, oh, this is a really big name person, really big name company, I'm just going to buy it, and because of their background, because of their who they say they are, it must be of good quality. And later finding out that I was totally wrong, that it was like horrible quality. It was chipped in some places, or maybe it shattered when on the Mohs scale it was supposed to be really high number, but then it shattered. And realizing it wasn't the crystal that they advertised it to be. Or maybe investing your time in a spiritual program, and then realizing that what you've been taught was not true, and this person just, you think they're selling snake oil, you think they're a charlatan, they stole your money. And I just want to encourage everyone else to do your research before jumping into a spiritual relationship with someone, before funding this person's business, this person's livelihood. Do your research into the person. Google them, find out if they're ethical, find out if perhaps they speak out about abuse that they have suffered from in the past, or anything. See if they're an advocate for anything, not just saying, oh, the spiritual person claiming that they've been in the spiritual practice for 40 years, and they've just had been born under a lucky star and all these amazing things are happening to them, and you think, oh, this must be great. Don't just fall into that. Really do your research into the person. Then do your research into their customer service. Find out if the crystals they're selling are what they say they are worth it, are the correct size of what they look like online. Just do your research, and I wanted to encourage you to share your possible emotions or possible situations that you've been involved in when it comes to spiritual people. Maybe you don't feel comfortable naming names, and that's fine. Just talk about the situation. I think it's important that we share what we've gone through with other people, so that we practice that age-old saying to learn from someone else's mistakes instead of making our own. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I felt like talking about it, and let me know down in the comments if you've experienced this before. If you feel like naming names, I'm not stopping you. If you are truly doing it to warn people not to fall into the same, pitfalls that you've fallen in, not to stumble on the same stumbling stones that you've fallen into, and not to fall for the same pyramid schemes that you possibly had fallen into as well. Anyways, final couple seconds here. This is a collaboration with Intuitive Home Solutions. That's my mom's crystal shop and website and blog. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Pinterest, a Facebook page, several different Facebook groups, different classes that you can take online. And feel free to do full research on anything to do with our business or personal relationships with us, because I think it's proper, I think it's correct, and I think it's good to have that open door so that people will feel that one is not hiding anything, that you can really do your research and share what you find. If you have any concerns, bring it to myself or to Sister Lisa in the Facebook page, or message us on Instagram and let us know if you have a question or a concern about maybe a crystal that you've purchased. Feel free to check out our Etsy as well. We have tons of reviews on there, many of them talking about a possible problem with shipping and how Sister Lisa handled it. I'd love for you guys to go ahead and read those stories, because we pride ourselves in our customer service, and we pride ourselves in being open and honest, and properly labeling all of our crystals, and properly showing our research in our classes. I was talking earlier about researching different goddesses. That's part of a class that I have with Sister Lisa and Intuitive Home Solutions called the Goddess Mysteries. Check that out on our website, Intuitive Home Solutions, and you can see several different goddesses that we've studied throughout this year. I've been doing one per month, and I'd love for you guys to learn about these goddesses as well. I've really been doing a lot of research, and I feel a personal connection to each one since I've done the classes, and I'd love for you guys to feel that as well. Anyways, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, joyous Kwanzaa, blessed Yule, and Happy New Year, blessed be, and I'm sure I'll speak to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.